have spent over 20 years advocating for families in the special needs and disability space. So what originally drew you to the work that you're doing in the special needs and disability space?
Really, so I was already a real estate attorney in
Yeah.
New York. And when I moved to California, there really wasn't a space for real estate attorneys the same way. On the East
Yeah.
Coast, you have to have, and you're on the East Coast, right? So
Yeah. Yeah.
you have to have someone at the table, an attorney. But out here they use realtors to do a lot of the work that I was doing in New York. So I
Yeah.
kind of started this quest on, okay, what area of law am I going to practice after doing this for 10 years?
Yeah.
And I wouldn't say happenstance because I don't believe in that. However, a family member ended up calling me to see if I knew someone who could help her child. And she kind of explained the situation. And I said, I have no idea what that is, but let me ask around. And basically, by my asking around, kind of inquiring, I found out that there was this niche area of special education law. And
Yeah.
I decided to help that family member, of course, with the team, an expert who was helping me. And I learned it and I fell in love with it. I'm like, oh, this is civil rights. And so
Yeah.
that's how I started in that world.
Yeah, that's incredible. Congratulations. I mean, that's a transition too, moving from New York and then starting all over. Was it kind of an easy transition or did you feel like there was a lot of learning curves?
The good news is I did my undergrad out here in Los Angeles. I went to University of Southern California, and I was already pursuing acting and learning how to write and produce, and really headed to law school as a backup.
Mhm.
Grew up in New York, wanted to be back in that space, and so that was easy for me, that initial transition back to New York. When I decided to leave New York, the law firm life out there, come to California, that was not an easy transition. But the first thing is I had to make a decision. Am I going to practice law again to pay the bills like I did in New York, or am I just going to go full throttle and pursue my passion of acting and film producing and such? Well,
Yeah.
as life goes, I did try the whole just pursuing the acting. However, there was a lifestyle that I had become accustomed to.
Yeah,
You
that's
know what
not.
I mean?
Oh, I know what you mean. The artist lifestyle. Starving artist is not for me. I love it for other people, not my calling either.
I I tried, I really did, but I just made the decision that I was going to go ahead and take the California bar and
Yeah.
start practicing again, and then still pursue my acting. So that was a difficult transition because I had to get back into the student mode, taking the bar, learning the clients out here, trying to have
Yeah.
people know me in this space while simultaneously kind of sticking to my dream, which got pushed off a lot because it's really difficult to do very full careers and do both.
Yeah.
So, now we'll get into that as far as me transitioning out of practicing and just
Yes.
doing the film space. But yes, to answer your question, the transition was not easy. But
Yeah.
as with anything, you just dig in, do the research, get the support, and you do it.
Yeah. That's awesome. Yeah, that's not an easy transition at all. That's incredible.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Yeah, but I mean, congrats on being able to balance and do both too. I found that a lot of lawyers also do a lot of acting and storytelling and things like that, which seems like it'd be two different worlds, but it's not.
Well, for me, like I said, the acting came first. So my in New York, I was already doing that since the age of 5, studying theater. In Los Angeles, while I was studying at USC, BAPS. I don't know if you
Mhm.
remember that.
Oh, I remember.
Yes. So I was like, I think I was like extras assistant or producer's assistant, something like that. But Laretha Jones was the
Yeah.
executive producer, and she was an attorney. And I'm like, oh
Yeah.
my gosh, this woman, I love her. She's a boss. So
Yeah.
that's when I decided I'm going to go to law school. I'm going to become an executive producer. I want to do it this way. And it was more
Yeah.
empowering for me, actually. And that's really how I ended up following the legal space. But yes, it is very much easier to be a storyteller as an attorney, right? And it's
Yeah.
interchangeable for me. And it's easy
Oh,
from
yeah.
the acting space if I have to play an attorney or do anything like that. So it becomes very interchangeable.
Absolutely. So, okay, so then when did Love the Skin you're in? Tell me how that kind of got off the ground. What was the inspiration? Yeah.
So the inspiration would be partly my life, partly what other women that I know have gone through in terms of their self-love journey, right? I
Uh-huh.
had kind of difficult time transitioning out of when I graduated from college to go to law school. That was a difficult transition for me. And then also once I had transitioned back to New York, I'm sorry, California from New
Mhm.
York, again, that was a difficult transition. So I would say early 20s, early 30s were very challenging for me. I had self injurious behaviors and really just low self esteem at that time. And part of it was just I
Mhm.
had these really high accomplishments that I thought I would achieve by a certain age. And now looking back, I'm like, wow, they were a little bit unreasonable. But at the time, I
Mhm.
just thought, why haven't I done this yet? Why am I not here yet? And
Yeah.
so when I got to that other side of loving myself, being in a good space after therapy and prayer, I thought maybe I should help the next woman who may be walking in the shoes that I walked in. So in
Yeah.
2014, I decided I am going to get back into what I'm supposed to be doing, which is my film and acting. And I'm going to use what I believe is a very influential platform, which is media, a film,
Yeah.
to share their story and help people. So the vision started back then, 2014. I started writing the script and finally shot the film after raising the funds, getting the money. Part of
Yeah.
it, majority of it was self financed in 2024.
Wow, that's amazing. And yeah, so you did go the self-finance route, which feels like a thing that a lot of artists are doing, just like creating their own stuff. Is that what you were interested in mostly? Did you try the traditional route first, or you just were like, this is my project, I want to get it off the ground?
I absolutely tried the traditional route first. The legal person in me is like, you're supposed to use other people's money.
Yeah.
That's the reality of this business, of anything when it comes to investing. However, I really just got a lot of pushback as far as what I was focusing on.
Yeah.
Self-love, no violence, no sex,
Yeah.
family. And I knew that there was a space for it. I'd done the research, I spoke to other women, and they wanted to see this type of work as well as just people in general.
Yeah.
However, when it comes to getting that money, people are like, oh, it's not going to sell. So
Yeah.
I eventually decided I'm going to just go ahead, with a couple of people who sponsored me, so still wasn't investing. I'm going to
Mhm.
go ahead and use my money and make this happen so I can actually now be part of this world, have a different conversation for the next film when I start getting investors, which is, of course, what I'm doing now.
Yeah. No, I mean, kudos to you. That is a journey in and of itself. What
Thank
do you
you.
feel like, yeah, you learned through the process of the film and then also after it kind of debuted?
Yes. Can you repeat that? I apologize.
Yeah, what do you feel you learned through the process of kind of creating it on your own?
Ooh, I learned so much, but I would say the kind of majority of what I learned is when you're new at something, you need a team. You need a
Yeah,
team who absolutely knows what they're doing. So starting off with Ken Michael, the director, Kimberly Ogletree, the producer, Brittany Murray, our co-producer, that was like my team, and
yeah,
they were holding me down and teaching me at the same time. So it was the understanding, of course, I was the leader, but at the same time I was allowing them to lead me to learn. So I would definitely say to anyone who's just starting off in terms of kind of that takeaway is get that team who has the expertise, who have already done this time and time again, and that's how you're going to learn, and that's how you're going to get a wonderful project. And that is how I was able to get Oba Babatunde and Marla Gibbs and Wendy Raquel Robinson, right? Because
yeah,
these folks, Kimberly Ogletree, my producer, she had been in this world forever. She was like, we're going to get this person, we're going to tap this person, and that just made all the difference for me.
yeah. I mean, you got huge talent and like very well respected. How did that feel kind of stepping into like working with them?
It felt surreal,
Yeah,
really. Because at first, you have to always be careful on this journey. And I say journey for me, that self love journey of
yeah,
really starting to question and have that doubt. Like,
yeah,
why would they want to do my film? Why me? And it's like, why not you?
yeah,
This is a wonderful script. you are intentional in terms of what the message you want to get out, and why not you? You're deserving, right? So that's always kind of that self-talk that happens when you get this doubt, because I just was very confused at first, like Marla Gibbs, the Marla
Yeah.
Gibbs. But you know what? She read the script. Even after she did the movie, she said, I love this. We need more stories like this.
Yeah.
Oba was like master teacher, helped me every day in terms of downloading and just really getting into the character. And then even now to this day, said every time I watch that movie, there's something else I love about it. So that is, I believe, the reason that everyone was attracted to working with us is they love the script. They love the idea of a positive Black film,
Yeah.
and also really talking about what everybody universally goes through in terms of generational trauma, dysfunction from your childhood, but not allowing it to truly determine who you are as an adult, right? That's really love the skin you're in. That's what it's about.
Yeah, oh, 100%. And heavy on the positive Black film too. That's amazing. I feel like we need more of them. So that's great.
Yes, we
Yeah.
do.
We very much do. Yeah. Speaking of, did you learn anything from them specifically while with them?
Absolutely. Again, starting with Oba, I learned about the difference between theater and camera. I
Yeah.
definitely come from a theater background, right? And so I maybe had done a few commercials, but had never done a film or television show.
Yeah.
So from day one, he helped me drop in, and everything was just from 10 to like 3. He's like, you
Yeah.
can accomplish everything you need to accomplish with your acting, with your voice, in just a much lower tone. So he was very helpful with that, as well as my director, who is a personal friend of mine, Ken
Yeah.
Michael. He's known me since college, and he would say, this is Sasha. Drop into Sasha. Sauda has a deeper kind of tone
Yeah.
bass. Sasha's a
Yeah.
little bit more people pleaser. So from the two of them, I
Uh-huh.
truly learned a lot. They just really helped to keep me in character. And then
Yeah.
Kim, my producer, she helped me to stay actor and not executive producer. She's like, hey, I'm here to do that. You go ahead and be an actor, and then afterwards we can talk business. So that was really my team and helped me.
That's great. Yeah, because those are two very different roles. I mean, it could, again, incredible testament to you because doing that where you're starring, acting, producing, like it's so much, and to be able to balance that is like really a skill in of itself, which is great.
Thank you. It was not easy. I think one of the things I want to give myself flowers for is just my willingness to listen.
Uh huh.
People were talking to me and saying, "Hey, you're kind of stepping on toes a little bit," and I'm like, "Am I? Yeah, because you're supposed to be acting right now, and we understand that you're executive producer, but you hire people and let them do their job."
Yeah.
So I heard that week one, and the project we shot in only a couple of weeks. So
Yeah.
I dropped in very quickly and stayed in my lane because I always want to be respectful of the fact that I have a team. That's the whole reason I hired the team, and they're experts at what they do. So I wanted to respect their expertise.
That's awesome. Yeah. And then I guess what's next? Are you working on anything else that you want to do after this?
Absolutely. I am actually working on, we have a slate right now. So I'm actually starting to send out to investors next week to try to get, I have a film that I'm working on, and actually two films. One of them is already drafted and just in, kind of tweaking it. Another one
Yeah.
I'm currently in the progress of developing. And then I have two TV shows. One is a lifestyle show, and the other one is the spinoff of Love the Skin You're In
Yeah.
movie, the television show. So
Oh,
very much excited and hoping that someone is willing to say, you know what, we see what she did with her own money, with a wonderful team, and we're
yeah.
now willing to invest in her and this film in Ron Ash LLC.
Yeah. Amazing. Well, I'm rooting for it all. Is there anything else you'd like to add for our readers?
First of all, just thank everyone for their support. I'm actually segueing out of practicing law, going full time into the space of becoming just a personality, right? So I'll be
Yeah.
doing public speaking to help people in terms of this journey, self love, learning how to, I call it deliberate velocity, but just truly learning how to create your own way, whether it's for me, I started my own law firm at a law school or starting my own film. And then, of course, doing the film and television, acting, writing, producing. So you
Yeah.
can follow me at Ronash LLC on Instagram or ronashllc.com. And I would love your support. Please, Love the Skin You're In. It's currently out. It's on Amazon, Apple TV. Please stream it, buy it, rent it, support us, support positive Black films so we can continue to make more.
Yeah. This was truly incredible. You inspired me. Thank you so much for your time. I love speaking with you.
Thank you. I appreciate your time.
Yeah. Talk soon.
Bye bye.